Yeah, that's right. I mean, both companies, Alibaba and JD, setting themselves new transaction volume records. Alibaba saying that amount of transactions across its platforms totaled 498.2 billion yuan, or just over 74 billion US dollars. JD saying its total transaction volume was 271.5 billion yuan, just over 40 billion dollars. What's interesting here, of course, is the fact that this wasn't just a single day for Singles Day this year. It was a longer period. Promotion started on November 1st. So that's why we're seeing that sort of rise in numbers as well. That really helped as well. But let me just dig into a couple of the key themes here. Imported products, that was number one here, really, because a lot of Chinese travelers who would have been going abroad on holiday, buying those foreign products that they were like, weren't able to do so because of the pandemic and turned to these e-commerce platforms to buy some of these products. And the demand was quite high there, as expected by Alibaba. And interestingly, it was American brands that were really the top, actually, in terms of the amount of sales of foreign brands being bought. That's according to Michael Evan, who's the president of Alibaba. Here's what he had to say.
Each year, no matter whether it's tariffs, it doesn't matter who the president is, that number increases. And the reason it does is because Chinese consumers want to buy great American brands.
Now, it's not just about driving sales Singles Day, it's also about marketing. And for these companies, Alibaba and JD, it's about trying to acquire some new customers. And so where they're looking right now is some of these lower tier, smaller cities in China that are perhaps have less spending power. And so these promotional activities are very key to their push into that. Now, JD has been making a strong push for these lower tier cities. And I had a chance to catch up with Xu Lei, the CEO of JD Retail, and asked him about the strategy on lower tier cities. Let's listen in to what he had to say.
China is huge geographically. What happens to consumers from 4th to 6th tier cities when they want to buy some big branded products? They either find out that the products are not available locally, or they are sold at a much higher price than those in the upper tier cities. So JD is providing consumers in lower tiered markets the same kind of access to products and pricing through our nationwide logistics network.
Now, Singles Day was slightly overshadowed, I'd say, by the big plunge we saw in some of those Chinese tech stocks, Alibaba and JD included. That was because of the draft regulations the Chinese government released around antitrust, anti-monopoly laws. And it was really their first comprehensive rules that they'd released. And the concern here from investors was that some of these big companies could be caught up in a lot of regulatory action going forward. But of course, as you mentioned, Nancy, we saw that kind of relief rally going on today in some of these names, perhaps investors looking at opportunities over the long term and buying some of these dips on these big Chinese tech names. Back